Hello and welcome to Forever Rugby on Forever Sport, and some breaking news. The United Rugby Championship has been announced, which will be what we all thought was going to be the Pro 16 tournament. No Pro 16, it is going to be the United Rugby Championship. 16 teams, 18 rounds, one big winner, 3 playoff rounds. It's going to be a really cool competition. I think that they've absolutely nailed on the format of the United Rugby Championship. Very, very cool. We're going to break it down a lot. We've also had finalization of in terms of how, in theory, the European, sort of the Heineken Cup and the Challenge Cup qualification is going to take place, stuff like that. So we're going to get stuck into that in a bit of a moment. Before that, please do smash a like on the video, subscribe to the channel as well. Right, so we all kind of were waiting for the Pro 16 announcement, and my only gripe with the entire announcement is the name. I'm not entirely convinced by United Rugby Championship. It's a bit of a mouthful, isn't it? The URC, the Earth, it doesn't really work for me. But the format, they have nailed this format dead on. So very, very happy. How it's going to work. So obviously the 4 South African teams will be joining the current Pro 14 club, the 12 Pro 14 clubs. I know that makes a bit, doesn't make a lot of sense, but do you remember it was Pro 14 with Cheetahs and Kings? They've fallen out. So it was 12 remaining Pro 14 clubs will now join the 4 South African sides to make the United Rugby Championship. It will take place across 18 rounds of rugby, and every single team will play against each other, and that's the biggest thing for me. Every single side will have a chance to either play away from home or against the different teams. So how it's going to work is it's going to be split into 4 pools, okay? And there will be the Irish pool, the Welsh pool, the South African pool, and the Italy and Scotland will combine for a 4th pool. And how it's going to work is that every side in their pools will play each other home and away. So that'll equate for 6 rounds. Okay, so for all the South African sides, they will play against each other home and away. So we will see 2 Yorkshire derbies. We will see 2 coastal derbies. We will see 2 north versus south, north-south derbies. And apart from that, there will then be 12 rounds where every team will play each other and will play the other 12 sides, either home or away. So you'll have 6 home fixtures against the other sides from Europe, or in the South African case, or 6 away fixtures, which means that in your 18 rounds, you will be playing 9 home games and 9 away games. So I think it's a very fair system, and I think that it's very much on merit, and I think that it's a perfect balance, because we've seen how in the Rainbow Cup, in a shortened version, how a side like Benetton can go on a great run and suddenly find themselves in the final. You cannot hide in an 18-round competition. And it's also, there's 12 rounds where you're playing every other side. So it's not enough, for example, if people are worried, like, Benetton playing against maybe the easier sides across 6 games, they've got 12 other games to try and play against. So it's not also enough to just sort of dominate your pool and that'll carry you through. You have to be good within your pool. You have to be good across the entire competition. It really is a good merit-based system. And they've also confirmed that the talks are currently underway to include the South African sides in the European Championships competitions in the 22-23 season. That is subject to a lot of talks that is currently happening with the European Professional Club Rugby, the EPCR. They obviously own the Heineken Cup and the Challenge Cup. And basically, it looks like the conversations are underway for the South African teams to join, not this coming season, but the season after that, which I don't think it's a bad thing. Obviously, I would have really liked to have seen the South African sides in Europe at the moment. Well, in the inter-European competitions with Premiership and Top 14 and stuff like that. But I also think that given the fact that we had to have this bit of a Rainbow Cup and stuff like that, it wouldn't have been fair to have gone straight into this system. We haven't really had a chance to match the merit and see where the South African sides fare in between the European side. So I think that it's a fair system. I also think that we've made such a big decision to leave Super Rugby and go into, the United Rugby Championship, that there's no need to rush into the Heineken Cup. There's no need to rush into the Challenge Cup. Let's get this right. SA Rugby are very much in a building phase, and they need to try and make sure that they're making the right decision. So I think the fact that we've delayed this decision for a year, just allows us to, for these sides to settle into Europe, to settle into the traveling, to understand the different time zones, to understand the conditions a little bit more, and gear themselves up to then after that take on the European elite. In terms of how the qualification for the European tournaments will happen, a total of 8 teams from the United Rugby Championship will qualify each season for the following season's Heineken Champions Cup. The balance of the teams will participate in the Challenge Cup. At this stage, the South African teams, as I said, will be able to qualify for the Heineken Champions Cup in the 22-23 season if they are finished in the United Rugby Championship qualification places from the prior season. All points won during the URC will contribute to rankings in the regional pools, and the highest ranking team in each of the 4 pools will earn a place in the Heineken Champions Cup for the following season. This addition to the format is expected to add even greater attention to these age-old local rivalries. So if you finish on top, you get a place in the Champions Cup. The remaining 4 places in the Heineken Champions Cup will be awarded to the 4 highest-ranked teams from the single standing league table who have not already qualified through 4 regional pools. So basically it'll be the 4 sides that finish on top of the regional pool. So you will always have an Irish side, you'll always have a Welsh side, you'll always have a South African side, and you'll have one of either an Italian or Scottish side in the Heineken Champions Cup every single season. After that, they then go to the full league, and the next best placed 4 teams will then get into the Heineken Cup. So I think it's a good system. I think it ensures that, there's always going to, that it can't just be a case of maybe like 4 Irish teams and 4 South African teams, for example, or 2 Welsh teams, 2 Irish teams, 4 South African teams, or vice versa. Whatever make sure, and that like maybe the Scottish and Italian side sometimes struggle to make the Heineken Cup. That won't be the case. There will always be at least sort of one spot allocated towards them, and I don't think it necessarily makes it that much weaker either at all. So it places a lot of emphasis on still making sure that you want to top your pool and you want to do really well in those local rivalries, but you can also, if you just do well across the competition, earn qualification into the Champions Cup by that. So I think that they've nailed on this format. I think the format's very good. I like the fact that they will all be playing against each other. In terms of the playoffs for the European and for the United Rugby Championship, it's all going to be one league table. So as we said, it's going to come down to the 6 rounds of local rivalries and then 12 rounds of everybody. After that, the top 8 sides on that combined table will then move into quarterfinals, semifinals, and finals. 1 versus 8, 2 versus 7, 3 versus 6, 4 versus 5. It's going to be, and like a standard sort of playoff system. So none of this sort of one team goes straight into a final and then you then have this and that. It's simple quarterfinals, semifinals, finals. Nothing complicated about it, which is what I like. It's a very simple yet very effective format. I think sometimes we get a little bit too into the fact that the need that we have to innovate, that we're trying to make these sort of really complicated tournament formats. For me, this is a very simple tournament format, and I think that the simplicity is what makes it so attractive. I think it's a really, really cool system. I think it's going to create some really good moments, and I'm really looking forward to it. As a Lions fan, I can't wait to go and play every single side in the United Rugby Championship. I can't wait to go and play in Italy, in Scotland, in Ireland, in Wales, but to also be able to host these sides, be able to go to Ellis Park and welcome Leinster to Ellis Park. I mean, how cool is that? So I'm absolutely buzzing with this format. I think that they've nailed it perfectly. I don't really like the name. I think it's a bit of a crap name. I think it's just a bit of a mouthful. But everything apart from that, there are absolutely no gripes for me. Let me know what you think of the format down below. I'm really excited. I hope you're really excited. Smash the like, subscribe to the channel as well. My name is Steven, and I'll chat to you guys soon.